Good morning, everyone. This is Linda with lindasueplantsforyou. This morning I want to just bring you a short video on my Alocasia poly. I had a discovery this morning that got me so excited I just had to share it. And I'm going to show you what that is in a moment. But before I do, I want to point out a few things about this plant. I originally had two. I bought them both at the same time. One didn't make it and this one did. And the first one, I do believe now that it was just going into dormancy, but unfortunately I didn't know that then and I ended up throwing it away. This one never has gone into dormancy. This one has continued to grow. However, in the winter time it does give me a few issues. But this last winter it didn't. This last winter it was thriving since I moved it over to this spot. One of the things that I want to point out, well, let's start with humidity. Now, I know that these are tropical or subtropical plants and they do like high humidity, and I don't have real high humidity. I don't have a humidifier going here. However, my humidity in my home is pretty moderate. It goes down to as low as 39% in the winter on occasion, but my average humidity in my home is right around 50%. It goes from 45, and I've had some days where it went as high as 70 in the transitioning of seasons when I don't have the air or the heat on. So right around 50% I think is good for her. Now I will say that I think if I was a little more consistent with my watering and if I had a little higher humidity, she probably would be a fuller plant. So one of the things I did is I purchased another one last week and a half ago. I have her in quarantine right now to make sure that she doesn't have any bugs. And as soon as she's out of quarantine, I'm going to be placing her on this table with this plant. Excuse me. Okay. Unfortunately, I was interrupted by a phone call, so I apologize for that. But anyway, so the couple of things I want to touch on here, and I want to start with this leaf. As you can see, it's almost transparent. You can see through it, right? And that is not a watering issue, my friends. That is because that leaf was under that light, as that leaf is currently. So what happens is they get faded out because the light is too bright. They like bright indirect light. They don't want to be in, if you put them in the sun, they will burn and crisp. If you put them under too high a grow light, they will do the same thing. This is not a grow light. This is an LED, but it is very bright. And like I said, that leaf was right under it like this one is currently. So I may have to do something a little different here before I put my new plant up next to her, because I want to fill this whole stand with the Alocasia poly. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the watering and the repotting. So watering, well, let's start with the repotting. I repotted her not too long ago, and she was root bound, and I put her in a pretty good sized pot. She can stay in this pot for a very long time. They actually like to be a little snug in the pot. Watering, you do not want to overwater this plant. She has little bulbous type roots, and if you overwater, you know, they hold their water, so if you water too often, you're going to rot it. Better to water not enough than to overwater. The worst that can happen is you might get a little brown tip or brown edging, which I have had. I did notice too, when you get a new, she for a while there, every time she shot out a new leaf, one would die, but that didn't happen this time. She was down to 2 leaves, and now I have 4. And this is the reason I'm doing this video this morning. I couldn't believe what I saw. She's got a flower. Now granted, it's nothing to put in the flower fair or write home about or get too excited about under normal conditions, but the fact that this plant is flowering tells me she's very happy, very healthy, because a plant will not flower if it's not. So how exciting is that? And it's strange because before this actually opened, I didn't recognize it as a flower. I was worried that the leaf was deformed. And I was so scared. I thought, oh no, I got some other kind of pest and it's deforming my leaf. So when I saw this morning, I was so excited. My husband was actually standing next to me when I turned on the light, and I think I startled him because I let out kind of a yelp of excitement. And his first words out of his mouth were, "Oh, that's a video." And I said, "Yep, you're right, it is." So I'm doing a short video for y'all so you can get excited for me or with me, or maybe you don't care, but at any rate, she also has a new leaf, a new shoot coming up behind her. So I'm very excited about this, and I'm excited to get the other plant up here with her. One of the things that another thing that I wanted to point out is, and I just love this bowl that he brought home. It was another one of his finds, and I just thought it was perfect for the African mask. And it looked great when it was in a smaller pot, but these two don't really go together. But that's all I had when I needed to repot her, so kind of an ugly setup, but it is what it is. But the good part about it is there's holes in the plastic pot, and the water drains down into this pot, and this pot does not leak. So it keeps kind of a little aura of moisture around it. And it doesn't suck it back up because, as you can see, it's got a small base at the bottom. So once the water goes down in there, it can't reach this pot. So the water just sits there until it dissipates, and that kind of helps a little with the humidity. But I am going to pay really close attention to that and see if I can't get her even fuller than she is. And I may even at some point take her out of here and put this one along with my new one together in one pot. I just haven't decided yet. But for now, I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to show you that flower and let you know that she's doing very well. She's alive and thriving. And ooh, and I apologize for the jerkiness, but yeah, she's really beautiful, and her leaves are huge. They're big and getting bigger. So we'll see what happens. Got to try to keep her out from under that light there, and hopefully she will take off. I can't put her too far over because it'll be in my husband's, in front of his computer screen here. This is where he sits. So I don't have a lot of options, but I actually could even move her to a different area altogether, I guess, if I needed to. But I think we're just going to leave her where she is for now because she seems to be pretty happy. Okay, well, that's all I have for now. I just wanted to let you know. And again, on the watering, I think I said that already. You want to let this get about 3/4 of the way dry. I have let her dry out all the way many times, and most of the time there's no residual effect from that, but occasionally I would get brown edges and brown tips because I let her go too far. So, you know, there's a fine line between all the way dried out and 3/4 of the way dry out. If you're the type of person that uses a moisture meter, I would say when she gets around the between the 1 and 2 mark, then it's time to water. I would not water her the minute she gets into the dry, the number 3 or 4, wherever that is, into the red zone, because that might be too soon. So, okay, well, wish me luck, and I do have a lot more content I'm going to be bringing to you. Those of you that are following me know that I had cataract surgery on my other eye this 2 days ago on Wednesday, and I did have a complication on that, so very difficult for me. I can't read close up right now. So if you do comment, I have to have somebody read that to me and respond for me. So if it takes me a little while to get back to you, I know you won't be used to that because I'm usually pretty good at responding right away. But if I don't, that's the reason. I just want to let you know that. And that's it. I will be back. Thank you again for coming. If you like my videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell. And if you want to share on Facebook or Twitter or whatever you belong to, that would be great too. That would be very helpful. All right, well, you all have a great Memorial Day weekend. If I don't get back to you before that is over, then I wish you all a safe weekend. Thank you for coming. Bye now.